Hello? Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hey, Bradley!
Hey, Jack. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How about you? Oh,
Oh my
sorry.
gosh, I'm doing good. Finally, so glad to be interviewing you. I kind of did it out of order, so you were actually like my last person that I'm interviewing right now.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. I think I've seen you. You've done your own as well. You've interviewed yourself. I saw that one recently as well.
You did? Yeah. Yeah. Just so happy to finally be done with interviewing after you. It was kind of hard getting us scheduled since you're what, 8 hours ahead of me?
Yeah, no, it's been pretty difficult. It's been a bit busy as well, of it being a time zone as well. It's a bit difficult, but we worked it.
Yeah, I heard the last reason you weren't able to be interviewed because you do boxing now. Is that what I hear?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I started boxing now, so I do boxing every Wednesday now. Picked it up after Lily. I did say I went with it. I told everyone I would do it. It's been really fun so far.
That is awesome to hear. And how have you been liking that so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. Like, it's not been anything other than I expected. It's always just been fun from Canada all the way to here. It's just amazing.
Nice, awesome. That's super good to hear. All right, so we're just gonna get things started a little bit. We're just gonna do some just some basic questions first, and then we'll officially get started with the interview. How's that sound?
Yep, perfect.
All right, cool. So just quickly, how was being on the show?
Oh, dream come true. Like, I honestly, it was just a surreal experience. Just being able to go out, meet all of the athletes, and just try my hardest, and just be able to do all of them sports was just the most thrilling life experience I probably will ever have. It was just amazing.
That's awesome. That oh my gosh. Here's a question. So you were the youngest on the show. How old were you when you started filming?
So when we started filming, I was 14. I've recently turned 15 now, so year from there. But yeah, it was I was the youngest, but it didn't stop me. Like, I knew that everyone, like, it didn't matter. We all had disabilities, and we was all separate age ranges. So I just kind of had to suck it up and kind of go with it. But it wasn't bad. It was a good thing.
You didn't let that like pressure you at all, the fact that you were the youngest one compared to some of us that are like 18, 19.
No, absolutely not. Like, sometimes people are going to be older, and you just have to kind of just still try your hardest. Like, it didn't stop me. I just wanted to do whatever I could to try to be the best I could be.
Nice. And that definitely showed. Good job, Bradley.
Thank you.
Okay. How do you like the show so far?
What you mean by watching the episodes, or?
Just yeah, by watching the episodes, watching your episodes. Have you seen the whole thing, by the way?
Oh, I have. Yeah, I finished it.
Okay, okay.
It
No spoilers yet. No spoilers. You can't say anything past your episode.
Oh, of course, I'm not going to
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, okay.
I've seen everything up to my episode so far. It's been amazing. Like, all of the time and effort that we put into acting, it just came out. Like, it felt like the episode went so fast, and it's just so crazy to see how much the episode's short, and then just realize how long we took to film it. It was so amazing just seeing it up to my part.
I sometimes forget how much fun we actually had once they actually put it on screen, and you're like, man, the memories, it's just like hitting you.
Yeah, it's just a weird feeling to see yourself actually on like a proper, like, worldwide TV show. It's like really crazy feeling.
And didn't you say that you watched the show before? You're one of the only ones?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I knew Nathaniel, not real life, but I knew him from American Ninja Warrior, I think it was, and I knew that he did get onto All Round Champion. I really wanted to watch it, so I've been like, I watched clips on YouTube because obviously I couldn't watch it because I'm in the UK, but I watched as much as I could, but it was all right.
Nice. Okay, so thank you for getting those out of the way. Welcome back to All Round Champion Interviews. I'm joined with Bradley Pedrick,
Hello.
and we're gonna be interviewing episode 8, Sailing.
Oh, amazing episode.
First of all, how was it like traveling internationally? Was that your first
Tra-
time?
Oh, yeah, my first time ever traveling. Like, I was petrified. Like, my mum told me, she goes, "Hey, Brad, so I've seen this thing. We've been reached out to get onto this TV show," and I was like, "There's no way." I was like in denial at first, obviously, and I realized that we had to fly aboard, and I was like, I don't know, because I always kind of had a fear of airplanes, but like, traveling was amazing. Like, just the whole flight experience was just something that I never thought I would be able to do, but it was just so surreal. It was amazing.
I remember my first time ever being on a plane before, and like I okay, this is kind of silly, but like when it was taking off, I was like, I felt like I was in like a rocket ship because of the force.
No, it just messes with your ears. It makes your ears pop. That's why you got to have like those little chewy sweets. It's just really fun. But yeah, it was just something that's not many people can really ever do. It's just just a fear I kind of got over by doing it. It was amazing. Like there was a lot of flights that we had to go on. We had to go on connected ones, so it wasn't just one aeroplane I went on either. Like we went on several. So I kind of just got used to it the first time.
Oh, that's so fun. Dang, I feel like there's a lot of other questions I can ask you since you're like from Cornwall, is that right?
Cornwall, yeah.
Nice. Have you always been there? Have you always lived there?
Yeah, so that was my first time obviously moving out of the country, like even the country. I'd never been abroad before, like so it was amazing just being able to move from Cornwall. But yeah, I have been living in Cornwall all my life though.
I know that the show talks about it a little bit, but how did you feel just, I guess, being the only, I guess, British person? And did you like, how did that feel?
It wasn't bad. Like I'd always like, don't get me wrong, I love the British accents, but just meeting everyone and just hearing their accents, like the Canadian and American, it was so like it was such a culture shock, and it wasn't something that was like a weird thing. Like it was just something that you had kind of had to get adjusted to. But it's just a voice. But I didn't really get it distracted. It was always just something really fun to mess about with, and it's just like you guys mocking the accent of mine. But it was always just been just really fun.
Okay. All right, let's move on from your British side here. So for basics, what did you think of jet surfing?
Oh, jet surfing. That was intense. Like there was many times where I was just like almost out my seat, just intense. Like, wow, this is awesome. And then just having a good time laughing. Like, I mean, Braden, I think he was the only one that stood up. And I like my face just dropped when I saw him stand up. And then Dom like tried to just everyone falling in was funny. It was just amazing just seeing this.
I think in your episode it was really funny seeing you fall the most as there was a montage of it.
Yeah. I did fall quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was really fun. And then I've noticed that like there's been montages of you crashing people. I think that's like the highlights right there of the show.
No, I know it was a bit adjust like you kind of had to get adjusted to being on the jet stuff things because like I couldn't start it at first. That was the montage. Like I couldn't start the thing and I was always like, oh no. And when you get it, it finally clicks and you're like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. But it was just really difficult at first. I think you was the only one that got it like in the first couple of attempts. I think it was pretty difficult.
It was very difficult. No, I feel like I was pushing when I didn't get much control, but when I did, I felt good. But it was very sensitive. The throttle was very sensitive, so I held it down a little too much. I'd be just going too fast, no control, completely fall in the water.
Yeah, it's really sensitive. Like even the little bit, like you just pulled it because you didn't know how powerful it was. They didn't really give you a taste of it. You just like kind of pulled it and then it just speeds off. So you're kind of like, okay, I didn't expect that. And then you get adjusted. But it was a bit strange at first.
All right, so now let's get into the actual first day of training. I just want to bring this up. I think this is kind of funny because usually athletes get to show off their sport before introducing themselves to everybody as coach. And it was funny for you because it took like
No,
30 minutes for you to get around the water, around the corner, because there was like no wind at all. So they told us to like cheer, like woo, and then we like see a little speck of you just in the far horizons. It was so funny.
yeah, we just had to like get the shot. So we kind of had to just go around, so you guys could see me off cut and then get into the scene. It was so strange to like get used to it because there wasn't much wind in the lake either. So I was just like, okay, this isn't expected, and I was kind of just trying to pull the main sheet in, trying to gain some speed, but there was just nothing. It was too good of a day to be true. Like it just didn't move. So I was just kind of okay. And I was on the boat and I was just thinking, what am I gonna do? So I was just kind of going with it, just trying to get some speed. But yeah, it was pretty difficult.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so obviously they could not transport your actual boats.
Yeah.
So what was it like using a different boat? Like is your boat significantly different from the boat that they gave you?
Well, not significantly different because the boat that I use is just normally a Pico, so it was the same boat, just kind of different, and it was kind of weird to get adjusted to because I think the main sheet was a bit different, and so it wasn't that bad. I just kind of had to get used to it, and then once it was there, I just kind of went with it. But it wasn't that bad being on a different boat.
Okay, so when you were on the land and you see Helena Lucas for the first time as a sports star, what did you think? Hello?
Oh, sorry, yeah, we just cut off a bit. Um. Oh right. Did you say how did I feel seeing Helen and Lucas?
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh right. I'm sorry. The internet is kind of bugged.
It's funny because you were just like
No, I kind of just both froze, but it's all good. I guess seeing Helena was insane because, like, obviously I'd never seen any other parasailers ever. So just seeing someone who actually had all that bling, like as Pretty likes to call it bling, um, just seeing that from someone that actually competes in sailing was just such an amazing thing to see. It was also one of my favorite parts about it is that I wasn't just going to be the British one there, so that was a bit of a more reassuring thing to know. But it was amazing just finally meeting someone like that.
I think that's so cool that they were able to find a British sailor too, the
Yeah, I
closest
know.
thing to home.
So not only did I have to come out from the UK, but also someone else as well. It was insane. Like even just seeing her for the first time, my jaw just like I had no words on the scene. I was just like I couldn't say anything. But yeah, it was fantastic.
So with Helena being the coach and giving out pointers to everyone and teaching them a sport, how did you feel coaching everybody?
I felt like just coaching everyone was a little bit difficult on some days because, as we all know, there was not very much wind at all for a lot of us. But like we just kind of had to adjust to that, and like we just had to kind of go off the top of our head really. And I just taught you everything I knew really, and just tried to teach you everything to get out of irons and just figure out how to get past the wind. And it just honestly felt amazing because I at that point I did some teaching, but not very much. And that, like, teaching that many people was a little bit overwhelming at first, but it was really fun to just finally teach you guys and, like, for you to fall in love with my sport as well.
So yeah, speaking of falling in love with the sport, I was surprised that I did. Going
Yeah.
into all-around champion and hearing that you did sailing, I'm like, what the heck? I have to be on the water? Like, I love water, but I don't know why. I just never thought that sailing was going to be fun. And then going into it, I really like sailing. Like before competition and just on the first day, getting on that boat and just moving around when there was wind, I really liked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great sport.
When you think about it at first, when you hear the word sailing, I think that everyone thinks at first, oh, this is something kind of the older generation do, and it kind of seems boring. But once there's wind and you get it going, then it starts to get fun, and then you just kind of like be like, this is actually really relaxing. So it can go from relaxing to really, really fast, heart-paced racing, and just really calm again. So it's just amazing. And when you fall in love with it, it just kind of clicks. And I don't think it will ever leave my side. I think like I'm always going to be in love with it.
Yeah, I think that's what really cool about sailing is that the fact that you're controlling it. Like you are responsible for moving it. Like
Yeah.
moving the man sheet and the wind picks it up. Like you can control the directions and all that kind of stuff. I think that's like really cool about sailing.
Yeah.
My next question to you is the thinking generating question, scrubbing through our run champion. Oh, you can see I'm kind of prepared for this. I kind of ran out of questions. What did you think of this storm? Like, was that your first time in a storm?
Oh no! Now that wasn't my first time in a storm. Like I've sailed in like quite many storms, so not like a stormy storm, just like where it gets really, really, really choppy and like really, really rainy. But I was kind of panicking at first because it went from really sunny, and then I just looked up and kind of saw a huge black cloud coming over, and then all I see is Momo out in the water with waves crashing up and down, and it was like okay, and everyone had to come back in. But I think that was really exciting for a lot of you guys because you went from not really having any wind to then it just picking up and you guys going really everywhere, just kind of adapting to that. But it was just amazing to really figure out how to do.
It was so fun on that day because that's when we truly understood the real speeds of sailing and kind of the dangers of it too. The winds were really high, and before they evacuated everybody, I was just off doing my own thing, just going as fast as I could, and it was so fun. I was just kind of upset that it was a lightning warning.
Yeah, I mean, like it was amazing, obviously, but then there was that danger of the boom, like just coming around and smacking you in the head. I think that's one of the reasons we had to go in, is just because like you couldn't control the boat. We didn't really want to lose any of you guys, so we just kind of had to evacuate it all and just make sure no one got hurt.
My heart was
And
pounding every time that the boom would come around. I was like actually genuinely scared at some points when it first started. And I'm like, that thing just went at me really fast. Like they were talking about, oh, watch out for the boom. Dude, it can hit you. It can hit you
it
pretty hard.
it can go really fast. You just like you don't expect it because I mean the waves can really come from anywhere, so you just kind of get that bump and then the boom. You just got to have really fast reactions, I think, for it. And that's what's really, I think, come in handy with boxing that I've started. Obviously, I think the fast reactions that I've learned from sailing, with obviously needing to maneuver the boat and get around it really fast, I think that's kind of helping with what I'm doing now as well.
I don't think you participated in this, but do you remember when we all went Pirates of the Caribbean and just like capsized the boats and just splashed around? What did you think of that?
I think I think I was at this point I was just with Helena, and we was like, I don't know, I just started having a little bit of a friendly meeting, and then I'm just seeing Lily lunging her arms towards one boat, grabbing another, pulling them together. They was just going full on pirates mode, and it was just like I was laughing. I was just there on the deck like, what is going on? And Lily was just absolutely destroying everyone. I think she it was just amazing to see you guys out having that much fun. And like you guys have been working really hard, and just to see you have that much fun of having a break and just kind of being like, all right, I'm gonna steal your boat.
Sorry, you just kept cutting out a little bit. I feel like that was definitely one of the most genuine parts on the show. No one told us to do that. That was all Sam and Maggie and Lily, and they just did that, and then more people came, and I'm really glad that they kept that in because we were on the water and we were bored. So we were really stoked when
Yeah.
some excitement was happening that day.
Nah, I know it's just kind of difficult to get around things when it's kind of no win. So it does get a little bit boring sometimes. Sometimes you want to improvise, or sometimes now a new rule you can just go full Pirates in the Caribbean. But yeah, I guess as long as you guys had fun, I think like just seeing you guys even just like maneuvering around the boat was a really good key as well. That you guys were all jumping around the boats, figuring out where to go. It was just kind of seeing that you was learning, also having a bit of fun. So it was just really awesome to see.
All right, so we're getting close to wrapping up the interview.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the competition. What did you think of that?
Oh, that was one intense competition. Like it was a bit. I was really stoked, but I was like really nervous at the start because I was like, okay, I've never actually judged a competition before, let alone taught this many people. So I was kind of like my head. I was just trying to get my head around it, and I was just flabbergasted seeing you guys doing that well and going that fast and knowing what to do, especially around a triangle course. That is difficult to do. And me and Helena were helping you guys out, but not really as much. You guys were figuring out what to do. You knew how to get out of the irons, and just it was so intense because sometimes people had wins, sometimes they didn't. And I think really fair. I think some people may disagree with that, but I think you guys were all on the same skill set. And I think, yeah, even though the wind changed, like the wind can't ever stay the same. So it wasn't really fair, even if you guys all went at the same time. Like it was just going to be the wind changing. But I just honestly was so proud to see that I actually done as much as I could to teach you guys and see you was doing this well.
Yes, and it really helped. It helped a lot. Very fun being coached at and applying that to the competition. Yeah. All right, so let's stop talking about the whole sport and competition now, and let's just talk about you. So, what was the interview process like for the show? Or, I mean,
You mean,
interview. We're doing an interview application.
oh, you mean the application like to get in? I think for this application, so obviously I was there with one of like the producers. Like I think it was Josh, yeah, and I had a glass of water, and yeah, my British accent, water. So
Well,
every time I had to answer a question, like I was like, I came back from sailing that day as well. I think after just doing my normal routine of sailing, and I came back and I was like, I was so stoked the whole day, but I was pretty nervous at the same time. And it was like around 7 o'clock, and I had my water, and Josh was asking me questions, and each question I answered, I was grabbing the water, taking a sip, putting it back down, and just repeat. And I was that nervous. I normally hadn't been nervous in a long time because obviously I was like it came back to me that day just thinking this is a big thing, and I have to give it my all, but not even just trying. Like you just have to be yourself, and if you don't get in, you don't. But I was being myself, and just I got in. So it was an amazing thing, even though it was nerve wracking to wait for my application to go through. It was just even fun talking to Josh and just thinking about it.
oh, that's so sweet and nice. Whew. Okay. I think I had another one. Did I have another question? How? Um. Oh, okay. Here's one. How was dorm life, just in general?
Oh, dorm life was amazing. Like every day after set, we'd like obviously I think there was loads of key moments of this. I think my favorite part was either just being able to spend time with you guys, going outside, making bases, shelters, making swings, and yeah, the swing was really fun. I love the swing. Um, and just really enjoying everything, just going down, hanging out with you guys, watching Momo play Scary Maze or Five Nights at Freddy's, whatever that game was. It was very horrifying. And I just enjoyed it. And every time we had food, like we get to choose our own food, and just even having Frida around, everyone just making food, like the girls making their brownies and stuff, is amazing. Like it was just an experience I would never forget because that day, like the whole day, that the whole like adventure, I just made a whole new family, and I realized that even in a 2 month time of being there, I made a whole complete family tree.
Oh, we're glad that we could allow you to be part of the family and everybody else. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay. Wow. I think that's it for the questions on my end. Do you have anything you want to say to the viewers back at home?
Pardon.
Uh, that's everything on my end. Do you have anything that you want to just say? Any questions for me? Any questions about just anything in general?
Well, how's your wheelchair basketball going? Like, is that going well? Have you been in any competitions or?
For me, I just returned from nationals in Wisconsin, which is over yonder, and very cold, by the way, over there. But that wraps up this season of basketball for me. So I'm on spring break right now, which it's been really good.
Okay, yeah, we're on Easter holidays, so we got 2 weeks off. But yeah, it's been amazing, like the whole experience, and just even to hear you like being nationals, that's crazy. Just to see how like even basketball, you teaching me basketball was amazing. Like I enjoyed that. I think that might have been one of my favorite sports as well. It's just even though I didn't do as well in competition, it was just a bit nerve wracking at that point. But it was just so amazing to learn how to like dribble with the chair and just even shoot. And just like I think he was an awesome coach, and it's the whole thing.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
Oh, I think that's about it.
Okay. I think that wraps up the interview. And that's it. That's all of the interviews. I'm all done. Just kidding. But thank you so much for being a great interviewee. And I hope you have the good rest of your night. Cause it's 6 o'clock over there, not 10.
Oh, it is. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. So thank you for everything you did in the show, and I really hope you have a good night.
Morning.
Morning, sorry.
Morning. All right. Bye, Bradley.
All right, bye, Jackson.
Bye. Bye. That went so smoothly. Oh.